Hello, Helldivers. I have for you today some weird and wacky synergies. We'll be ranking synergies based off of how fun, effective, and even how cursed they are. So grab yourself a cup of liberty, and be sure to tell me if you disagree. So many people keep saying how good the gas strike is. Are you playing the same game? Are you playing on the lowest difficulty or something? I figured, let's all take EMS and gas strikes, World War I style.
I got nothing out of that.
Despite the stinky gas, both bugs and bots simply don't care. Light enemies seem to not even be affected half the time, and medium enemies might die by the time the EMS wears off. It doesn't appear to stack with multiple strikes in one spot, and since it can't kill most enemies, it's pointless for even one person to take it. It does, however, melt your teammates.
Oh god.
Oh, my stinky boy. Ineffective, sorta cursed for the team kills. E tier. All orbital lasers is just here so I can shit on all the guys who keep commenting that the laser strike is actually good. It takes out a bot base. Oh, sorry. Did you not actually like playing the game? 4 people taking a laser cannon on a bot mission can complete over half the objectives without even setting foot in them. It's a crutch. Boring, mildly effective, not at all cursed. Get a better playstyle, nerd. E tier. All 120mm and 380mm barrages lets you destroy almost every objective in the game without ever setting foot in them. While one laser usually destroys a base, disregarding how it trivializes side objectives, and acknowledging that it does kinda look cool, it has a 5-minute cooldown, and you only get to use it 3 times. Arty, on the other hand, has infinite uses, and a cooldown of 4 minutes. The sheer spectacle of all 4 people dropping all Arty in one place is something to behold.
Oh, Jesus!
Is it effective? Well, alone, the barrages are too inaccurate to do much. But all of them? Well, you're basically just deleting part of the map. I do it to witness the sheer might of democracy.
It just leveled this place, holy shit.
Better yet, drop them during a firefight, and the enemies won't be killing you. I didn't say you wouldn't die. Mildly effective, not really cursed. D tier. All mechs sounds really cool in theory, but in practice, it doesn't really work. Mechs burn through ammo, and are best used in tandem with infantry.
Biggest question.
You're kidding.
Oh, the fucking pelican!
If all 4 mechs are conservative with their ammo, you could probably get through the entire mission in mechs by using both your call-ins, but it's better used for bug defense or strategically on objectives. This is how everyone used their free mechs when they were released anyway. You can liberally use the mechs one at a time, but I never found any benefit from spamming in these things. Each rocket can kill 1 medium at best, so you're best using them exclusively on heavies. Not very effective, and not at all cursed. D tier.
Technologic.
Sometimes I wonder, what wild strategies will we have when vehicles get added? Well, if you're itching for vehicle combat, you should try today's sponsor, War Thunder. You know War Thunder. You know it's the most comprehensive vehicle combat game in the history of, well, vehicle combat games. With over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters and ships covering all eras, from the 1920s to modern day fighters. The combat is intense, and incredibly immersive as a result of amazingly detailed damage models, graphics and authentic sound effects. My favourite tactic is rushing to cap, then spawning a plane to protect people from CAS. There are 70 million people playing worldwide. Discover it today as you battle an epic PvP with so much content to discover, you'll be saying, where did my life go? It's gone to a better place. It's gone to War Thunder, with its insane customization and game modes suited to every kind of player. And if you're one of those freaks with a job and a life, you don't need to invest your life savings on a PC that can run it. Do you still need more? The game is absolutely free on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. You should sign up with my link now to get a massive bonus pack, whether you're new or a returning player who hasn't played for at least 6 months, including 100,000 Silver Lions, 7 days premium account time, premium vehicles, decorations, and more. But it's only for a limited time, so sign up now. Stealth. How do I do this? On the one hand, we have sneaking past enemies, trying to do the objective without being seen. On the other hand, we have taking out strategic targets and running away before being engaged. No! 2 sides of the same coin, but the coin can't be used to pay for anything because it's fake. The stealth in this game is really weird. Ignoring the bugged enemies that can see you from across the map, the mechanics behind when enemies are active and inactive, these are terms that I've just made up, are really hard to get my head around. From what I can see, you have patrols and guards. Patrols will head towards noise, so dropping all your stratagems in one spot and having a long, loud firefight while constantly drawing patrols. Stationary enemies, however, are exactly that. They might wander around the area they spawned, but most of them stay still unless provoked. You can kill a lone guard without aggroing more, sometimes multiple in quick succession, but it's inconsistent. From what I can gather, as long as another enemy cannot see the enemy you kill, they won't be aggroed, but they may come investigate. Patrols, on the other hand, tend to be so close that to kill one alerts all. So, stealth. I've sunk dozens of hours crawling into enemy bases, trying to do the objective without detection, and haven't once succeeded. It's frustrating because it seems possible, but some bullshit or other prevents it from happening. You can have a friend in the distance snipe priority targets, but with the weather effects, visibility is usually very low, so the best they can do is draw enemies out, which usually just gets you discovered in the process. It's super scuffed. I really want it to work, but if I still haven't done a single mission after 160 hours, I'm not sure I ever will. This mission is the closest I ever got. I managed to sneak into the air control base using the jump pack, call down the SSD, wait out the bots that came to investigate, and plugged it in. After waiting to see if the bot at the terminal was going to move, I decided fuck it, and went in. Maybe if someone sniped him, or made some noise outside, I could have used the terminal without him noticing, but it's more likely I would have been detected instantly. You can still use stealth to increase your success rate. If you're ever getting bogged down in a big fight, you just need to break line of sight and sneak away. Very cursed, almost effective, still kinda cool. C tier. The supply pack spam strat is something that I've talked about before. I originally relegated it to only working with the grenade launcher, and while that probably is the most effective way to use it, it also works quite handily with the flamethrower, and to a lesser degree, the machine guns. Basically any support weapon that doesn't need a backpack becomes spammable. The grenade launcher and machine gun in particular are held back by their ammo, but even weapons like the flamethrower get a huge boost by not having to worry about ammo. It's a good synergy that I use quite often, but not cursed. C tier. Drop the Dropships is a fun little game I like to play on bot defense. Take all recoilless and expendable, and use the team reload to try and take down every single dropship. I'm convinced it's impossible. The moment you stop shooting dropships, you'll get instantly overwhelmed. It's just the nature of these missions. But seeing how far you can get before that happens is fun as hell. Usually once everyone's out of rockets for the recoilless, it starts going to shit. The problem is that bots inside a dropship don't count towards kills, and tanks and hulks don't die when a dropship does. So it's purely a strat just for fun, but you have to give it a go at least a couple times. You'll end up taking the expendable and shooting down dropships in regular missions as a result. Trust me. Not very effective, fun as hell, and kinda cursed. B tier. The laser light show has been around since the start, with the scythe and the laser cannon, but it's now infinitely more effective and versatile with the addition of the laser pistol and sickle. Hell, the sickle on its own deserves its own playstyle ranking. Switch to either the pistol or the cannon. Well, don't switch to the pistol. It's basically a water pistol. Switch to the cannon when your primary starts to overheat, and vice versa. It sounds gimmicky, but it's rather effective. Doing this strat taught me how to actually use the laser cannon. It's fussy. You need to use cover, since moving and getting staggered ruins your aim. You can use a shield pack, or just some cover and crouch if you're struggling with it. The fun starts when everyone uses this strat. Against bots, as long as you focus down priority targets, it can be quite effective. And goddamn beautiful. Pair it with incendiary mines, shield generator, the laser guard dog, and or the orbital laser, and you've got yourself a light festival. It's damn fun seeing all the lasers, and while your ability to crowd control is seriously hampered, you will eventually gain control of every engagement. Fun, pretty, and pretty effective, but not super cursed. B tier. I'm a fire in my laser! Everyone knows that the drop pod is one of the Helldivers' most effective weapons. It can one-shot charges and hulks.
Oh, double kill? Double kill!
And put Bile Titans on the brink of death, if it doesn't just outright kill them. Tanks, on the other hand, are a bit weird.
Oh god, oh god.
You can kill them with the Hell pod, but it's not reliable. More likely that you'll get yourself killed moments after emerging from the pod. If your heavy-hitting stratagems are on cooldown, why not commit seppuku and call in a new Helldiver? You know we've got hundreds of them frozen on the destroyer. You can even destroy objectives with them.
Deploying reinforcements. Reinforcements on the way. Reinforcements.
B tier. The Arc Boys consists of everyone using the Arc Thrower and the new arc-resistant armor from the Battle Pass. With this combination, friendly fire now only does about 1/10 of your health instead of killing you. You are sleeping on the Arc Thrower. It's so good. After one full charge, you can do a short charge every shot after. If you time it wrong and it doesn't fire, sometimes you have to full charge it again, but just look at this fire rate. And with 4 people, focusing a charger and even a Bile Titan, you shred them. You can accentuate this with Tesla towers and jetpacks, since you can just sit up on a rock forever and kill every bug in existence. Against bots, it's a little less effective, since you have to use cover, but it is still very effective. Since the arc chains between targets, you can send one boy up front and have everyone use them as a conduit to chain onto further targets. With the charge trick, however, you will melt them, and the fire rate from 3 people stun locks them from stimming.
He's doing God's work. Okay, let me stim. Let me stim.
Speaking of stims, you'll be hearing a lot due to friendly fire. To combat this, you can take a supply pack simply to restock stims, since the arc thrower itself has infinite ammo.
I gave the whole tits.
I don't recommend using the blitz shotgun though, it's kinda trash. Very cursed and very effective. A tier. With the addition of stun grenades, a lot of stratagems are suddenly viable. The 500 kg, for example, fell off once people learned how to deal with titans. Now, however, it's come back, since you can stun entire groups of enemies before dropping it on them. It works for so many stratagems. It's like having 4 mini EMS strikes in your pocket without taking up a stratagem slot, or 6 if you take the grenade armor. I do feel the absence of explosive grenades, especially against bugs, but it's so good. Go equip them right now, throw them at a bug breach, then call down a strike on them.
Calling in orbital.
Oh, that will never get old.
Requesting orbital. Requesting orbital. Calling in orbital strike. Tunnel breach. Requesting. Requesting orbital strike.
So good. A tier. All flamethrowers is a surprisingly powerful strat. With the flamethrower buff, direct fire does 50% more damage. I feel like they stealth tweaked the burn damage, since it took me a long time to start seeing big kill streaks again. But the takeaway is that you can melt charges now. It seems to do best if you aim for one leg, not the head, but that's not the point. One man can hold a choke and deal with a single charger reasonably well, but 4 people holding one choke. The DPS is insane. The burn damage from setting the ground on fire is good. You'll need to focus most mediums a little bit to take care of them on your own, but with 4 people, they just can't get through. You absolutely melt charges. Alternatively, you can have a constant stream of fire by alternating reloads, and with supply packs, you might as well have infinite ammo. Friendly fire does become an issue. A shield pack will protect you from direct fire, but nothing stops you from getting set on fire if you walk onto burning ground. I can't wait for some kind of fire-resistant armor.
Oh, I couldn't heal because I climbed up it. Ah!
In the meantime, I recommend medical armor for the extra stims. Become a bug exterminator today. A tier. All sentries sound stupid, and don't get me wrong, it is, but it's damn effective. If you don't already use sentries, I need to make you aware of your skill issue. You need to place them out of the way, somewhere it can support you, or in a situation where it's unlikely to get overrun. If you're playing with bugs, then you need to place it where a charger is unlikely to reach it. And on bots, sometimes you need to be aware of the chainsaw bots, but honestly, it's much less often. You can also use sentries to lure enemies away,
Request down a sentry.
in order to thin out a firefight, or to escape back into stealth. But none of this is the point. If one person places down 4 turrets, nothing gets through. So imagine 4 people doing it. With a cooldown of 3 minutes, you can decimate and dominate anything in their range. It really is a skill issue if you can't make a sentry last long enough to use all of its ammo. Speaking of ammo, the best turrets are the autocannon and, in my opinion, the Gatling. 1 or 2 people should run an EMS mortar, since it takes about 3 minutes to use all of its ammo and neuters things like charges and hulks, making it easier for you or your teammates to clean up. Especially if it manages to land one on a bot drop or a bug breach. There's nothing like having a single mortar stun lock every single bug in a bug breach, then dropping a 500 kg on it. Sweet, sweet liberty. I'd recommend dropping the sentries as the opening move to an engagement, or right before moving on to an objective. Place them high up on a hill in a line, where they'll only have to fire in one direction, and you'll minimize turreticide. Turreticide? Turreticide. They'll still kill you occasionally. Liberty, save me! But that's the price to pay for freedom. Extremely cursed, extremely fun, extremely effective. S tier. As an honourable mention, I wanted to show you that I wanted to show you the early extraction. When you call in the extraction, if you leave the zone as the Pelican is approaching, it will hover and engage all enemies in a pretty large area. If you re-enter the zone, Pelican 1 will land and not take off again until you leave. This would be a good strategy, except that you've already done the main objective, and are probably quite deep into the mission. It can support you as you do side objectives and points of interest, but that's its only use. I think it's a cool idea. I'd love to have some kind of attack Pelican as a stratagem someday. Give it a try, and use it if it's applicable to you, but it's most likely you'll forget about it after using it one time. So, now we're on to the Cursed tier. These aren't ranked based on their effectiveness, just their cursedness. This can be how much they team kill, or just, well, how cursed they are. It's not really a measurable characteristic. The Mech Rider is some of the most fun I've had. You can tell the game doesn't really approve, but lets it happen. As the mech user, it's cursed as hell, but as the rider, it looks pretty normal. You can have the mech stand below a rock, and either you walk on, or if it's not high enough, have them stand sideways and you can dive on.
Yeah, I'm trying to dive earlier. There we go.
The much easier and honestly more versatile strategy is to use the jetpack. It's best if they stand still, and it takes some getting used to, but once you get the hang of it, you can jump on and off to do objectives and hop back on for bug breaches or transportation. This strat first came out with the flamethrower, but that's not really the best weapon for it in my opinion. There are some pretty serious restrictions when using it. First off, even though you can't damage yourself, most of the time, or the occupant, the mech takes damage when hit directly by the flamethrower. It doesn't seem to visually indicate this damage, so you'll just blow up out of the blue, killing both of you. If the mech pilot uses a shield pack, it kinda mitigates this, as long as you only fire when the shield is up, but it's too finicky to be honest. If you forego the versatility of the jetpack, you can take the autocannon, which lets you reload on the move. Pretty cool. But the best weapons to take are the railgun, arc thrower, and maybe the machine guns. To get the most use out of it, you want to help the mech conserve ammo by taking out low priority targets. If you're on a Spitters mission, the mech is going to want to stay away from them, or the rider will get constantly melted. Hunters are also pretty deadly, but they never insta-kill you, and I wouldn't recommend this against bots. It's a strat mostly for fun, since you can do the same thing on the ground really. I can make one mech last around 20 minutes by being very conservative. Is it that effective? Not really. But it is fucking cool, and extremely cursed. Traitor Artillery is Super Earth's incentive to keep Helldivers in line. Isn't it strange that they have infinite, on-demand shells for Helldivers who stray too far from the mission area, but make us wait for our own artillery? They're not telling us so. A truly democratic Helldiver uses every tool at his disposal. Run out of the combat zone, sacrifice your life for liberty. The Traitor Arty is capable of killing many enemies to democracy. How long can you stay alive? My record is 1 minute, 30 seconds. If everybody does it on a defense mission, wearing explosive resist armors, how many kills can you get? Very cursed, mildly effective, very democratic.
There is but one sentence commensurate to the crime of treason.
The podless Helldive is, very cursed. Using the rock, paper, scissors emote, you can go to places you shouldn't be.
Yippee.
Let's play.
Look at this cool ship.
Huh? Huh?
Ooh.
2, 3.
Yes. Oh no! Ow, 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 ow.
Alright, off to war with you. And finally, we have bug riding. All work and no play makes a Helldiver an undemocratic citizen. Go on vacation to a low difficulty mission, find yourself a charger, and go for a ride. You can do this during missions too, though its only real use is to dodge. The charger will try and buck you off if he's not aggroed onto anyone else. I'm pretty sure you can stay on indefinitely. I was on one for a solid minute before I slid off, and that was only because I emoted.
Let's play.
No.
The jump pack makes this trivial, though the first few times I did it by jumping off of a rock. You can also ride bots, most notably the tank, but you tend to slide off, and you're just making yourself a huge target. If you're feeling extra brave, find a Bile Titan. These beasts are much more deadly. There's a near guaranteed chance that it'll insta-kill you. I originally thought that if you kept the Titan perpetually stunned with stun grenades, you could stay on until you run out of grenades. With supply packs, and as many resupplies as your patience will let you call in, you could ride one for about 60 seconds, maybe 90 seconds tops. But when we tried, we failed. Over. And over.
Oh, fuck.
And over.
No, you Spam him, just spam him. Oh, you can't. There's no way. There's no way.
The only thing you can actually do is wear the Democracy Protects armor, which has a 50% chance to stop an insta-kill. After everything, it turns out my third attempt, without the armor, was my best, at 20 seconds. It's just pure luck. Given enough attempts, I'm sure one of you can beat my time. And who knows, maybe one of you will figure out how to tame these vermin for good. Thanks again to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to play it for free on Xbox, PlayStation, or PC, and use the link in the pinned comment or description to gain exclusive benefits like premium vehicles, account time, and more for a limited time only. And of course, thanks to all the patrons and channel members. I missed this segment in the last video because I was so pressed for time. Sorry about that.